Chris Breezy. Oh man, what could I tell you about Breezy? The 800 songs, is that a lie? That's what you guys asked me about, which led to this conversation that we're having right now. Chris, I would not be surprised if he had about that many songs in his phone. Breezy move like that, meaning that Chris, I'm gonna tell you something right now. Chris Brown in his phone, I don't know if it's in his phone, but recorded, he has about three songs, at least three, with Rhianna that no one has ever heard. And when they recorded this, she was bruised up, lip busted, and everything. This was right after the attack, recorded in San Diego, California. You don't believe me? Ask Chris about it. You'll probably never hear these songs because she would probably never approve of this to be released or vocals. But they had done these songs back then. Days after the attack, she was back with Chris, and they was in San Diego, laying low, away from the media, and they was recording songs. I know because people were telling me that were involved with the process. So I know for a fact they got about three that nobody's ever heard. Like they probably would never be released to the public. Chris' work ethic is incredible. Like people say, oh, he uses a lot of drugs, he do this and that. I don't know. He looked like Vic Mensa now. I'm like, is that Chris? Or because he's like a toothpick now. When I see Chris, man, he's like back being like he was when he was young. Now, I haven't heard anything really new from Chris in a while. I like 50 Cent and Chris Brown, what they were doing. Like Romeo and Juliet and I'm the Man when he was doing those songs. I like that. When they put Chris Brown on it. Breezy. I mean, Chris Breezy got the voice, man. He could sing. He could actually dance. He could actually do this stuff. Like everything else derailed him. But I would love to see Chris, be successful, do the things that he does because he's so talented. Um, I never thought Chris would be at a point where he is right now. Like I really thought he was gonna excel, and everybody thought he was gonna be the next Tevin Campbell type. Just I never saw him getting to this point where he got 1,000 tattoos everywhere. I'm like, what's happening with Chris? I mean, just when everything happened, that one bad mistake night, it's like he could never really get over that hump. Because every time somebody tried to help him get over that, like it was a bad night, he would do something that would just because he couldn't handle that type of pressure. He never been pressured before in a negative light. And it was the first time that he'd been pressured negatively, and everybody, the whole media, everybody was just okay to dump on Chris. And it's like for years, it's been like he's trying to break that stigmata of just people just crucifying him. And he's like, probably drove him to drugs, drove him to smoking cigarettes to lessen the stress because that's a powerful situation. Like, you got to sit there and go through this repeatedly. People just automatically coming down on you for mistakes. You're like, oh, I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. Why am I being judged? Really, it's like, how did this happen? How did I get here? But yeah, right now he's looking like Vic Mensa out here. I'm like, is that Chris Brown or Vic Mensa? But he wants to get past this Rihanna phase, and I'm just glad, that thing is done. People don't realize that they were like 19 and 20 at the time. That stuff's done. So he's an adult now. He's got a daughter. He's a father. So he's got to get himself together on that end, and taking care of her will grow you up a lot faster. So you educate yourself a lot quicker than you probably was expecting. But I'm out.